What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology, the Titans action, spawning in the bottom of the map in the blue color, playing as everyone's favorite Greek civilization, Poseidon, the man behind the myth of the legend. His name is Magyar. Now, if you understood what I said then, that makes you one better than me, because I have no idea what just happened then in terms of the words that came out of my mouth. Anyways, his opponent today in the red color playing as Oranos is the actual legend Armycore. Now, we call him the legend Armycore because he self-described himself as a legend. Take it as you will. We have the map Alfheim here, and it's looking like Armycore is going for a 4-minute advance time here in this game. Or a 3:30. We have seen that before with Kronos. Normally, we don't see it with Oranos. They normally prefer to go for 4:30 here, but you never know. Sorry, 4 minutes. You never know. And what you can actually do here if you are an avid Poseidon player, or just want to know what your opponent's doing, and you do manage to scout out in the first minute, that hunting dogs will come through. So you can actually check and see, does my opponent have hunting dogs or not? If he doesn't have hunting dogs, it means he's going for a faster advance time, and you can kind of decide what to do based on that one there. We do see a cheeky Katoskopos harass there in the early game from Magyar, as Armycore is going to continue along. Let's check out Magyar's build order here. So Magyar, this game was played back in 2011, 2012 era. This was pre-Matrius. Matrius was still a figment of our imagination, that somebody could be a Poseidon main sitting at the top of the ladder and beating everyone. That's not there. But Magyar was around, and Magyar was one of the first players I truly investigated to work out the Titans on. Magyar was the guy I watched. I remember I released one of my earlier videos was Magyar's Poseidon style. I remember that that was my own self-discovery on a little bit of how Magyar played Poseidon, a little bit of learning. And I'm interested to see how different Magyar plays this matchup compared to today, because the Oranos, specifically the Greek versus Atlantean matchup, people didn't really get it. People were like, well, I gotta build archers. I mean, I have to. They're building infantry. I have to build archers. When in reality, what ends up happening is if you build archers, the turn will get max value, and we don't want max value turn. We want no value terma. That's what we want. So what ends up happening is that the Greek players started going hoplite hippocon. And we'll see if that's what Magyar's going to do. Was he ahead of his time? I can't remember. We've got over here, Armycore is advancing up. He's 56%, which does look like he did go for the, I guess this looks more like the is it 330? It was very close to 330. It might be the 355 advance time. I can't fully remember. It looks like it's close to 330, so he must have delayed this. Oh, he's only got 5 villages. Yep, he's going for the super early advance here, as the Theseus is already out for Magyar. Magyar is already on his way. He's actually going through Ares on this map. This is wild. Ares with this gold mine here. We'll see if that Cyclops is going to be of any help right now. As you see, the counter barracks coming down for Armycore. He's ready to get very aggressive, and there's the Valor on those oracles, pushing the Theseus back, and he's going to just walk back into his base, get a couple of slices onto these oracles. These oracles are quite fast at 4.4 speed compared to the 4.3 speed of the Theseus, so they can catch up if the Theseus decides to turn around. But Magyar just simply going to walk back onto town center fire. We do see one of those arrows does get fired out there, and we're going to just continue here. The gold mine is completely exposed for Magyar as well. No walls, no attempt at defending this, though there is a very, very nice cliff here that he could use. There is the Ares, as we see the Katoskopos walking in here, but we're going to be chucking down that pestilence onto this location here. Would be very, very smart to do so, because that's all Armycore's got. And then Magyar going to be retreating back, as we do see a stable getting shot up here as the pestilence does get dropped down onto Armycore's base. And Armycore's going to have to work out, well, what do I do now? I can't make any more units here. My terma are coming out. I don't have that many more villages. I don't see him with a barracks anywhere. And this pressure is going to be getting very well defended, as we see a double stable coming up actually for Magyar. So none of those hoplites being built here. Obviously, we don't see any Murmillo coming out, but Catapulti is very, very good against against those Hippocon anyways. If you don't build the hoplites, catapulties become max value, as it were, as we are seeing the Hippolyta getting a lot of value over here. Now, remember, this is 1.03 Hippolyta. She's a little bit more drunk than her 6.0 counterpart. She does miss quite a bit if the units are far away, but we are seeing the Theseus gets taken down, but 3 oracles falling. So in essence, that is a win for Armycore because the oracles were free, but also a loss in that that's Valor down. So yes, it didn't cost Armycore anything, but he's definitely in a bit of a precarious position as the Cyclops Hippocon going to be starting to move forward here. Now Armycore is going to have to work out how does he spend all his resources, and it is looking like he is simply just going to go for pure Terma Promethean. So this can work, but it's super hard, and it's a very, very unique, or not unique playstyle, it's a very, very specific playstyle you need to do to make this work, in that you can't really engage the opponent's army head on. As we see the hit and runs coming in here, as the Hippolyta is going to start completely dismantling these Prometheans very, very quickly. There's a beautiful Valor there hitting the Citizen and also 3 Terma. So we will be able to start chipping away at that Cyclops. Cyclops has 650 HP. I think it did see some buffs in the Vibly Balance patch, but honestly, it's not that big of a deal. He's still a gigantic creature here. And we are actually seeing Toxotes getting built as well by Magyar. He's opting to go into the Toxotes. I'm not sure if that makes a whole lot of sense, but he's going to be attempting to make that one work. So Magyar now going to be retreating back as the Terma numbers are starting to scare him just a little bit. He will be losing that Toxotes there to the Terma. And again, that's why we don't see Toxotes anymore in the modern era, because the Terma too fast, too quick at taking them down. And now we see a raid coming in onto this location over here. Raiding Atlantean players has become something that we don't normally see at the top level, just on the fact that the mana is just way too strong, and it seems to be that it's you don't get as much damage as you might think because of reasons. But we are seeing the Terma getting pulled back over here as the Prometheans wandering forward. These Terma trying to get some shots off, but Magyar is getting through this stage of the game fairly well. It's 61 pop to Armycore's at 75, but obviously Magyar's army a little bit better, sniping another Toxotes here. Magyar, you got to just stop building those, because every single one thus far has just been sniped without any value getting grabbed here. And Armycore could potentially start thinking about throwing down that military barracks now and transitioning into some more Mermillo. And away from the Terma, or even just making some catapulties wouldn't be a bad idea. And we do see that's what Armycore's got queued up over here. He does have 4 villages on the wood, so he's going to have to start thinking about getting farms here, which is not as bad as you would think, because back in the day, I mean, he does have a beautiful, beautiful hunt back here, which he's got no idea about. He's also got hunt in the front of his base, which he didn't go for. But back in the day, Armycore's strategy was about getting town centers. So he's either going to rush this town center up, or he's or what? And the or what is the question, because like in the modern era, like nowadays, we would easily just see transition into Mermillo, apply pressure everywhere, and then hit the Mythic Age first and try and go for a gold star. Nice snipe there from Armycore, but we just see a gigantic overkill onto that Toxotes there, as we see the Terma getting taken down there for pretty much free as well, pulling back. When you come in for these snipes onto Toxotes with the Terma, grab like your Terma and split them in half at the very least. Split them in half so you have 8 in each control group, and then you can target 1 Toxotes, 2 Toxotes, and then something a small overkill. So we see Armycore coming in yet again. He does miss the Toxotes there, and it doesn't manage to live for just a little bit longer here. We see Armycore pulling back. He's moving in. Going to go after these Toxotes. Yet again, another snipe there as the Terma pulling back. Yet again, Armycore is at 106 of 115 population here, as Magyar is at 99 of 115. But the concave here from Armycore is going to be very, very tough for Magyar to crack here. But he's going to keep trying to push forward, taking down those Prometheans slowly, pulling back. I mean, obviously, the way that we play this matchup nowadays is we don't particularly care. Like a Greek would rather keep the game going and not fighting as much, so that they can get to the heroic age, get to their mythic age, get their town centers, take the game to the late game, and then win in the late game is that generally their strategy. But right now we're seeing Magyar continuously trying to push in and take Armycore on. We do see these Terma coming in from the top side. A nice micro here from Armycore. He's splitting up those Terma very, very nicely, but Magyar is on top of of it. He splits his cavalry up perfectly there to chase both groups of those Terma away, and that forces Armycore back. Armycore's still in a completely fine position right now as he's starting to throw down those farms, but he really, really desperately needs to stop making Terma and start making catapulties here. He's got 6 villages on wood. He's got no economic upgrades. He needs to throw out an economic guild and get that plow out at the very least. As we're seeing him starting to move forward, big shockwave. Remember, 5-second shockwave here in the basically for the entirety of the game, and that's going to force Magyar back here as he does take a lot of losses. But I imagine Magyar has to be thinking about the heroic age himself here, surely. But it looks like he's going to be running out of food very shortly. He's got all this berry over here. He's got this food over here, which he is aware of, but he's not going for it. We see a beautiful raid over here, sniping a stray citizen. Armycore not prepared. I think he was looking to grab his second gold mine over there, but not happening just yet. And now we are seeing Armycore making that move forward. The Toxotes is going to be return firing before the Terma even come in here, so he has to kind of think about retreating. Not happy to take this fight just yet. Magyar 115 supply, Armycore 115 supply. He is going for this second town center, and he does see all of these elk here, and this could be a pretty brutal timing actually for Magyar to think about hitting here, because this gold mine for Armycore is going to be expiring very, very soon, and the town center is going to go up, which is 700 resources ish. It's a little bit less for the Atlantean player, but all those villages not gathering is a big, big deal as well. So Magyar could think about getting armory upgrades here and making a huge push, but it is looking like he's going for his second town center instead. Nice snipe there onto those Toxotes as he picks 2 off there instead of overkilling them. Nice play from Armycore, continuing to keep Magyar a little bit behind here in this game. As we are still seeing the Cyclops still alive here after 11 minutes and 30 seconds of basically pure fighting. So nice control from Magyar not to throw that one away too easily. But as both players getting their second town center at this time, it's going to be an interesting one. And we'll see if Armycore can manage to get his second gold mine, because like, where does he go? He has to basically go here or over here. The Kataskopos is just checking everything out. We do see these villagers deciding to jump over here onto this wood. I still don't see. Well, he does have that that economic guild now, but he doesn't have plow. He's got a couple of farms not getting gathered from. We are seeing the fight now coming in for Armycore. He's ready to take this one. He's got the town center advantage. 124 of 130 population. The Terma doing a lot of really good damage, but not huge damage. But at this point, it's looking like the Prometheans are getting max value done here. Basically, the only thing that Magyar really needs to do in this fight is micro his heroes to take down the Prometheans, but he did not do that well at all, and that's going to allow Armycore to get a huge victory here in this fight, as Magyar has to pull back. And we're seeing that now that Magyar had the map control, but now no map control remaining, and the worry is going to be, will Magyar be able to continue mining gold? Because Armycore has got his eyes set on these gold mines over here. There are no gold mines up to this side of the map. If he wants to grab this one, it's possible. We are seeing some walls coming up, but Armycore is going to be surrounding over here. There are a bunch of units here for Magyar already, but I don't see those heroes just yet. There's no heroes out. Magyar's run out of food income here, and he's in a very, very difficult position. I mean, he still has this honey, he still has the berries, but he's got 850 wood right now, and this is going to be a absolute brutal timing. There is a retreat path there for Magyar if he wants to use it, as he's going to be getting that gate there, walking through it, an attempt to keep his villagers alive for as long as he possibly can. But 90 population for Magyar, Armycore at 130 population. We need to see these farms going up. Does he have plow? Does he have husbandry? He doesn't have either of them, so his farms are so ridiculously slow here in this game. And Armycore is just going to keep piling on the pressure as Magyar is getting pushed into his base. He has moved up onto this gold mine over here. Does Armycore see that one? He's got no scouting on the top side of the map here, so he's just happily pushing into the main base. And this is going to give Armycore a chance here to come back into this game. We are seeing that Hippolytes are getting targeted down incredibly quickly as Armycore realizes how important it is to get that one into the ground, because his Prometheans are doing everything. And in that moment, Magyar decides to tap out, realizing he is potentially too far behind. I actually don't think he was as far behind as he might have thought here. He is only at 60 population, but the big problem here was simply not getting those villagers onto the farms. Too many villagers on wood, 1,600 wood in the bank. The farm transition was awful here from Magyar. And if you ever talk with Matrius about farm transitions, he'll tell you that this game is all about smooth farm transition. If you don't have a smooth farm transition, everything halts and you end up losing in those moments when your opponent continues to plow on. And Magyar just did not get that one here. So just for those of you out there who are wondering, the differences here in this game, it's just no barracks here or military academy from Magyar means no hoplites, and the hoplites tank for days, as well as the Hippocon. There's no good targets for those Terma, and all of those snipes that Armycore did on those Toxotes put Magyar so far behind here in that instead of spending that wood on Toxotes, he could have had a ton of farms, could have been in a very, very good position, but did not do it, and Magyar loses this game as Armycore showing the business. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.